Good morning and welcome to Wendy Wu Tours Adventures Around the World. And today we are looking at the exclusive tour with Thorne Travel based on the Golden Triangle, departing next year, the 30th of October 2021. But before we get into the tour, I'd just like to go over a few examples of why you should book with Wendy Wu Tours at Thorne Travel. We are the UK's #1 specialist tour operator Asia, offering fully inclusive packages. We do offer a full visa service. We have a team based in our London offices who will help you through every process of the visa. We of course have an award-winning service as voted for by the UK travel industry and our customers, and have now achieved a 5-star TripAdvisor rating. Wendy Wu Tours have been operating in the UK for over 20 years. We have our offices down at London Bridge, and we have offices over in Sydney in Australia and in New Zealand, and of course in China, where we own the ground handling arrangements. We of course have our top tour guides who really will make your holiday, but I'll come into them in more details slightly later on. And the brochures that we're actually doing, we have on sale that you can actually book through Thorne Travel. Our holidays to Japan, which includes South Korea and Taiwan. Latin America, including Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador and the Galapagos, Panama, Peru and Uruguay. We have our Southeast Asia program into Borneo, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand and Vietnam, and of course China. And the one we are looking at today is India, which also will include Bhutan, Nepal and Sri Lanka. But today we will be concentrating on our trip out to India. But I'd like to give you a few facts, first of all, if I may, on India. So India is in fact the 7th largest country in the world. It's 82% of its population follow the Hindu faith and 12% follow the Muslim faith. India itself has 7,000 kilometers of coastline and over 1 billion citizens. In fact, at the last census, the last count, it was 1,383,198,000 people. It has 22 official languages and literally hundreds of dialects. So let's get into the tour. And the tour we're actually looking at goes to predominantly the Golden Triangle, with a couple of fantastic add-ons for you. So we will be travelling from Scotland. We fly out of Glasgow with Emirates, and the flight will go via Dubai. So the scheduled departure date is the 30th of October, as I mentioned earlier, and we will depart in the evening from Glasgow at 20:50. The flight is approximately 7.5 hours long over to Dubai, and you arrive into Dubai at local time at 08:05. This gives you a couple of hours to change terminals before you depart at 9:55 and arrive into Delhi at 14:40. You will be transferred to your hotel, and then basically the rest of the day is at your leisure. To navigate Delhi Airport, for those that you have not been before, it's an exceptionally easy airport to get round. Very well signposted, very modern, totally equivalent to, in fact better than I would say, than Heathrow Terminal 5 for those that you have been there. It really is easy to navigate. And when you get there, you'll be meet and greeted by Wendy Wu Tours and given the traditional garland, and then on your way into town. You'll get your first experience of your driving into India at this point, and the roads can seem hectic as you drive in, but it's something you will totally get used to, and it will become part of your holiday when all said and done. So the following day, we will go into the touring, and the first place we will visit will be the Red Fort. This is a historic fort which was the main residence of the Mughal emperors. The Prime Minister still addresses the nation from here on Independence Day. From here, we will then travel to the Jama Masjid Mosque in Delhi. This is actually one of the largest mosques in India. It was built between 1650 and 1606 at a cost of 1 million rupees and can accommodate 2,500 people. And as I mentioned earlier, it is one of the largest mosques in India, if not the world. When you walk around the complex, you're given about an hour and you've got plenty of photo opportunities, both from within the complex and from the arches into the out parts of Old Delhi, where you'll get some great opportunities there. From here, you can actually take a rickshaw ride through Old Delhi before you rejoin your excursion. And this is simply amazing and one of the highlights. And you'll go through Old Delhi and you will see all the sights, sounds, smells, people going about their everyday business. This is a picture I took from my trip earlier this year. And the monkeys really are all entangled in those wires above your head as you're going along, just waiting for some tidbits to fall into the streets. But it truly is the most wonderful experience to see life going on as if nothing else is there. We continue exploring, and this time India Gate, which is a war memorial dedicated to the 70,000 British Indian Army troops who died between 1914 and 1921. There's also plenty of parks and government buildings which you can easily go and visit and walk around, and also markets. In fact, the day I got there in our free time, we walked down to India Gate and there was a market on. So we was actually get straight into the bartering tips for the tour. So it gives you some really good ideas. And then one of your first tombs that you will visit on the trip. This is the tomb of the Mughal Emperor, the first garden tomb on the Indian subcontinent, and is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. One thing you will notice is the fantastic gardens that surround most of the complexes that you walk with. Very well tended and cared for. They are absolutely fantastic and will give you some definite inspiration for your own gardens when you get home. So after this day, and believe it or not, we are heading towards day 4 quite rapidly here. We will head on to Agra. And Agra is a city built on the banks of the Yamuna River, and is in the state of Uttar Pradesh. It's 206 kilometers south of Delhi and is the 24th most populous city in India. But before we get there, we will visit the Baby Taj, as it's known, or Little Taj. This is actually a tomb which was the inspiration for the Taj Mahal. It's a great place to visit to tempt your senses before you actually get to the main event. But when you do arrive into Agra, you will have the remainder of the day at leisure, so you have some time to relax, rewind, and go over what you've actually been doing in Delhi. The following day, we will go to the Taj Mahal, and we will go very early in the morning. And the reason we do that is because you will see the Taj Mahal in its absolute best glory. It truly is, in my opinion, one of the most amazing places you will visit in your entire life. As you will enter the complex, you go through an archway, and this building just comes up before your eyes, and you will see it change colour as the sun rises. It goes from a lovely pinkish colour to the white building you see in front of you. But as you approach the Taj Mahal, it has a massive garden in the front of it, which you can obviously have a look round. And you go up the steps into the complex, and the main archway in the middle of that picture, you will go through and pass through the tombs. And just to give you some facts on it, the Taj Mahal is an ivory white marble mausoleum on the Sahara River. It was commissioned in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the tomb of his favourite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. He is also buried here. Now, when you go through and past the tombs, you'll come out the other side, and you can actually walk the whole perimeter of the Taj Mahal, and then back down through into the gardens. And you will have and spend a good couple of hours here to take it all in, and it is truly remarkable. At this point here, this is actually a picture I took on my holiday early on in the year. Our Wendy Wu tour guide said, if you bend down here, point the camera up and take a picture of the Taj, you will get a great picture. I truly was just humouring him because I thought I'm going to get just a picture of a tree here, but I'm sure you'll agree that's a great shot of the Taj Mahal. Here's another one from slightly further back, which will show you all the gardens that they have on offer. We were there the day after President Trump visited, so everything was in tip-top condition. But having this been my second visit to the Taj Mahal, and it was just as beautiful as it was the first time. Just there was a few more people there this time because it had actually been closed for 24 hours for security. But it really is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful site. And there's the official program picture there. Then visit the Agra Fort, which is the main residence of the emperors of the Mughal dynasty until 1638, when the capital moved from Agra to Delhi, and is another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's only 2.5 kilometers from the Taj Mahal, and it is best described as a walled city. And it really is wonderful and a beauty in its own right. There's a picture of one of the interior gardens here, and you will get to view the Taj Mahal from the many balconies actually at the complex. We will then head down to Ranthambore, stopping off at Factory Sikri first, which is otherwise known as the Ghost City, dating back to 1569. And it was actually only occupied for 14 years, but it's actually a massive complex and has several red stone buildings. There's one of them there, and some of the architecture that you'll see within there. You park up in the main lot and you're taken up in a bus up to the complex and then guided around the whole place, and it really is wonderful. We will then arrive into Ranthambore, which is obviously the home of the national tiger. So Ranthambore, we will be here for a couple of nights, and you will take part in a couple of safaris here. So I'll take you through a typical one, which I did when I was there. So you'll get up early in the morning, walk down to reception, where you'll be greeted by a cup of tea and biscuits, and then you'll join your jeep through to the Ranthambore National Park. And then you'll have a couple of hours travelling around in search of these guys, and hopefully you will see one. Most guests are extremely lucky and always see them, but obviously we can't guarantee it because it's not put on. They are there, and they do have their own lives and do what they want to do, but hopefully you will see one. And it truly is a wonderful, wonderful site, and one you will cherish. Obviously, you've got some relaxation time in Ranthambore as well before we head off to Jaipur. Jaipur, or otherwise known as the Pink City, is Rajasthan's capital. The picture in front of you at the moment is the Palace of the Winds, where the harem used to sit behind the little windows that you can see in front of you to look at all the everyday life going on outside. It is a wonderful, wonderful picture that you can get there. We stopped just across the road so you can take the full beauty in. We will also visit the Amber Fort, which is a 16th century yellow and pink sandstone fort, and is just 11 kilometers outside of Jaipur. Absolutely amazing, massive complex that you will get to walk around and see all the different architecture in there. You will be taken in a jeep up to the complex because it's quite high up, so you don't need to worry about walking up to the complex. It is all taken care of. You will also visit Jaipur City Palace, and the Maharaja of Rajasthan still lives here with his family, and that's actually the building that houses the royal family to this day. There's plenty of courtyards and areas to look around, and it also houses a really great museum that gives you all the history of the surrounding area. You will also visit the Jantor Mantor Observatory, which has all these time-telling machines dotted around and is truly a wonderful complex. All the zodiac signs are there in front of you, so you can actually go in and find your zodiac and have your picture done. For those of you that are Capricorns, it's one as soon as you walk in front, because that's my one, and you can have an actual picture done with your sign there, which is just great. From Jaipur, we head up to Udaipur, or City of the Lakes. You will arrive there, and we will take a cruise on the lake, just to the top left hand of that picture there, and you will actually see the town itself. And it's absolutely wonderful, full of historic buildings, parks that you can have a wander around totally safely, and lots of markets that you can go and again use those bartering skills that you've built up over your trip. That's a picture of the city palace, which also houses the art museum and the general museum. And from here you will get some great pictures out over Udaipur, and there's one from the balcony there, so you can literally see how large the city is. And a final snap there of my recent holiday snaps. India is truly an inspiration and one of my favourite places in the world. And I can't wait to go back. The people are so friendly. And if I can draw your attention to the one in the bottom left-hand corner, at the hotel we were staying in, we were invited to a wedding that was taking place. Never met these people before, but they wanted us to be part of their celebrations, and we gratefully went, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. But it just shows you how wonderful the Indian people are. So what's included? Well, you have your Wendy Wu tour guide, and they really are amazing. They are the jewel in the crown. They know exactly the right opportunity to take the photo, and they know the history of all the places that you will be visiting. All your meals are included, so breakfast, lunch and dinner. Your flights from Glasgow, your accommodation, all of the 4-star standard or above, and transfers. Your visa is also included, which we will help you through the process. All at the bargain price of 2,695. Yep, you heard it right, just 2,695. The single supplement on this tour is £665. So to book, you will book with Shona and our friends at Thorne Travel. The telephone number is there, 01294 559949 to secure your place. You can email them at inquiries@thornetravel.com. But there is limited space on this tour, and £99 will secure your place on this trip. So all that remains for me is to thank you for taking the time to listen to our trip to India here. We very much look forward to welcome you along with our guides and friends at Thorne Travel, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.